Claas congratulates the Vanderloop equipment team for its well-deserved recognition. For more than 25 years, Vanderloop has been one of the leading retailers of Claas Jaguar forage harvesters throughout the U.S. We at Claas are proud to be part of the Vanderloop team.
I run my lists, but there's still separate lists of like, here's things that I know I need to get done in a day, or by God, I need to try my best to get done in a day. And then there are things that are on a whole separate list of, with notes of, we need to get this looked at, or we need to have this solved in like a week or two. Planters right now are a big one for that. I've got a list of things that obviously we're not going to do right now while they're planting, but we will be looking at forward. How are we going to make something better? If we have a grower that's saying, I'm having a problem with either like singulation or, down pressure doesn't seem quite right, or whatever the case is, that always kind of gets listed down as things to look at. I don't go too far in planning, I guess. I'm not doing like what does things look like in a 2-year thing. I probably within a year is usually where I am. Stuff is pretty fast, at least in this position. Stuff is very fast paced, and it's not a lot of long-term stuff. It's a lot of putting out fires and following up in the next, couple months to make sure that problem is resolved. So I guess that's the best way to explain that. I have a good example of a hydraulic hose with a slight leak on a planter, and they are done now, so I should be able to, look into that. But at the time, you don't want to shut them down if it's going to be if it's not causing, disruption of the piece of equipment. We'll usually do okay. Campaign stuff on the planters. So Momentum has these planters haven't been out too ungodly long in the States. So there's a lot of campaigns that we're just keeping an eye on. That's another thing on ACO's site with the warranty and everything too, where they let you know like, hey, this is coming out of warranty. It's really good on keeping track of campaign stuff, staying on top of it, any kind of updates, things to make things better. That's usually I'm watching that, and that's where I know they're there, but until everybody stops, then we'll start tackling those as they, as guys get done. Usually if I can't answer a problem to a customer, I will usually grab one of my technicians, and I will work with them. I don't just go like, hey, take the phone, like tell them what to do and come back. Like I will usually try to stay involved, and I want to hear what's going on because it's all about learning. I mean, we're still fairly new on the service side, of diagnosing problems and everything. So I usually try to stay very close by the techs and with the customer to, hear everything of how do we get from A to B? How did we get to this problem? What happened prior? All of that. So I'm like a fly on the wall. I'm usually trying to soak up as much as I can that way. I guess being a middleman to some extent, probably. But I think that's probably more of a just extrovert and people person, that being a middleman is kind of that goes hand in hand, I guess. So, but then in the case of nobody really answers to me, but I will usually try to talk to the technicians multiple times a day, just see what they're doing, what's going on, what are they having problems with, Usually it's what you got going on or what are you doing, and they'll explain. And that's a whole nother learning thing too. I like doing that because usually they'll go into detail of, well, I got metal here in this because of ABC, all of that. And I learn a lot from them too. And it's good to check in on them. Mm-hmm. Obviously they kind of get shunned to the back sometimes, it feels like. So, I like following up with them and double checking on things that way. So, if there is a problem, they're pretty open with me that usually we can try to help with that. Or again, it's like being a middleman.
Yeah, it sounds like it.